Hello and welcome to a wet and miserable day on Riverview. Uh, I Let's turn that up a bit. Um, it's Wednesday that I'm doing this, so this will be out tomorrow morning. It's a late one. I know. Um, I said last week I wasn't sure if I was going to do a stream or a video, and those who'd been expecting this video earlier or a stream earlier, I sorry, just lot going on in my life at the moment, and I don't want to go into detail, but let's just say hopefully in the next few weeks or so it'll start to settle down a bit more. Anyway, so I decided let's do some baling contracts, and so earlier I'd gone out and mowed the fields. I done that this morning, and got all prepped ready for if I felt that I could do the stream. But I've just been really tired today, and the heat hasn't helped, and I'm not. My headspace isn't there for a live stream, so I decided I would just do it as a private stream and then just schedule it to go live tomorrow. So right now it's like 20 past 11 at night, and I figured, well, let's see if we can go maybe hour or two. And I mean, we got another field to bale. Yeah, I've already done one, and I've decided to ditch the idea of the challenge map and just play it. um, I keep forgetting what the rules were for the challenge, and it's just like, yeah, have I broke a rule already? And then I found out that I actually broke a few rules early on, and so yeah, I'm just going to play it and just have fun. And contracts wasn't meant to be a thing, but for me, I personally got bored, because all I was doing was harvesting my crops, prepping them, cutting grass as and when it was ready to go, and then skipping time. And I don't want to play like that. I just want to play and have fun. So I'm dropping the concept of the challenge and just going with, you know what? If my idea is I want to own the whole map, then we'll just go with that, and everything else is fair game. If I want to buy something brand new, I'll buy it brand new. Even though I've still been leasing rather than buying things brand new, unless it's been on sale, and then it's not technically brand new anyway. So yeah, like for example, I sold my mower setup that I well, yeah, and my combine, and I leased a combine and I leased the big M. There was a tandem header that came up in the sales, and I bought that. I had the money, I bought it, and I was like, yeah, now just wait for a combine, as you will know from the last series or episode even, and and then then I decided, well, you know what, I if I sell my combine, I've got a corn header, a grain header, a trailer, and the combine. If I sell all of that, I can make something out of it, right? Not really. It wasn't worth that much, but it covered the cost of the lease. Let's just put it that way, and the lease of the big M. But then the mowers on their own covered the cost of the big M leasing, or the initial cost of the lease for the big M. So we haven't bought any new fields. I'm going to take more contracts out. I'm not going to be picking the bales up and taking them to their destination just yet. I'm going to pick up more bales, or pick more baling contracts, because there's more silage baling contracts to go. We will. Oh, we don't want to do that. Hold. That was the wrong button. Yeah, radio, not good. Radio, wrong one. That one. Radio. Where are you? Off. No, we don't want that on. That's just asking for trouble. I was trying to press that one, and I'm just gonna go at 1 speed, and you know why? Because it dawned on me. When it's daylight, I'll happily speed up time. You know, nice day, but during the rain, I don't really play in the rain. You know, normally it's like fast forward and listen to the sounds. You know, Giants have pushed the boundary out with sounds for this game, and that was one of the key features that or improvements that they said that they was talking about with 22/19, was they'd put a lot of emphasis in the sounds for this game, and so let's enjoy them. You know, could they do more? Of course they could. We could have the water effects on the windscreen. That'd be nice. So the wind wiper actually doing something other than just being there. But then at least we've got window wipers that do work. That don't just, you know, sit there regardless of whatever the weather conditions are and don't move. At least we've got an animation for them, all right? Just be nice if we had a bit more of an animation for it. It'd also be nice if snow actually stuck on your vehicles, if you left it out in an uncovered area, like they do like it does on walls and of houses or buildings in general. But maybe Giants will have that for the next game, huh? Which I'm thinking FS25. So I can't see them doing a 24. I mean, they've just announced the new DLC, or revealed the new DLC for the the final DLC reveal, or made the final DLC Seasons Pass DLC reveal, and which is to do with you know, more to do with your is it olives or grapes? I think it was grapes, and maybe even olives. I didn't read it. I just looked at it. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Makes sense. Add a bit more depth into that area, because, you know, that's your new things for this game. So yeah, why not? Expand your fleet in that area, or possible ways of working them particular crops, or fruit types even. and it doesn't bother me what the DLCs are. You're never going to please everybody, you know. You just gotta hope that you can please a majority. And the same goes with map making. You can't please everybody. Some people don't like the way that I do maps, and then other people do. You know, it's you get your own little fan base, and they love everything that you put out, and then you get those who they pick up what you've put out and tear it apart, and then go, yep, that was crap, I don't like that. But and that's the same for any game developer, any modder, any map creator, content creator. You know, we all have our little fan bases, and we can we can only hope that the fan base that we're catering to enjoys our work. This is a wait, wrong way. Hold. Didn't see that. That was me being a jerk and going, yeah, let's turn that way. Sorry, red car, but we're kind of coming out of the field again. We're just practicing our turning ability with the bailiff, or backing up ability, and we don't want to check the integrity of the hedges either while we're on our way down. They can be very unforgiving. So you'll notice a few changes as we're going around. Not changes as in, you know, visual changes, not cosmetic changes, nothing like that. No, you know, trees suddenly sprouting up somewhere. It's texture changes more than anything, and it's something I've been playing with. That I wished I'd been playing with earlier. I just, you know, I always used to like playing in FS11. I was always tinkering with things, trying to improve. So one of the texture changes is the grass. It's, as you can see, darker and whatnot. You'll see when we get into a grass field in a bit to harvest it. And it might be, I don't know if I got every grain of or every blade of grass going up here, but there might be a part where I missed, and you can see the texture difference between grass and meadow grass, and you'll get an idea then. But yeah, all of the 3 contracts are all nice silage contracts, worth a decent amount. I mean, I'm not going to lie, it's always nice to make money. And one of the other changes that I've made is to do with productions, which we won't see just yet. But I've been messing around in the XML files and decided, you know what, I said I wouldn't make another map. I never said I wouldn't tinker with XML files, though. I just said I wouldn't open Giant's editor. So what can I do that doesn't involve opening the editor? And well, I had to open the editor for one little thing, but that will be quiet on that one. So one of the things that people were very grateful for was BGA on Glenleith, and that you could sell it and put your own you know, your own BGA in there, or the one from Pumps and Hoses. You know, it gave you that land to do with what you wanted. If you didn't want a BGA at all, you didn't have to have one. And of course, this map, you couldn't do that because the triggers were separate to the building. So even if you could sell the BGA and remove it, you'd only get rid of the triggers, or you'd still be left with the initial building or the structure for it. So I had a play. I've got a bit more tweaking to do with it to position the building correctly. But now, and it's save game compatible, which is a good thing. Now, if you want, you can sell the biogas or the biogas plants, and you can then remove it, the whole building, the triggers, the lot, and have that piece of land for something that you want to do. And it means everything goes. You can then decide, well, I don't want the silage clamps up here, and sell them both as well. Buy the land that they're on, and sell them both. You know, you're not stuck with the with a piece of land that you can't really do anything with, and a building that you don't really want. Now, I could have done the same with all of the buildings. I could have had it so that all the production points you could sell, but then I would have to tinker with the land and put a few more viable plots in, which would break the save game compatibility, which for me isn't a problem because I can fix that. But for people on and other people on PC who understand how to edit XML files, it it'd be easy. But for people on console who are maybe playing the map and enjoying the map, they wouldn't be able to update because it would break their save game compatibility, and I don't want to. I don't want to do that. And there isn't an update coming anytime soon. Just a warning. And I didn't miss any blades of grass, sorry. I was looking as we were driving around the field. And so the annoying part of all of this is that I also started tinkering with another idea, which one of the testers had brought up a while back now, which was, why don't you make your buildings so it costs you money to actually remove them? We'll go down this way, and then when we come back up, we'll get that other one that's going across the top. Why can't because in real life it would cost you money to rip a shed out, especially an animal pasture, or an animal barn. It costs you money to take it down because there's a lot to it. And so I started tinkering with that idea, and on Glenleithen I started putting into place that as a particular thing, and I'm not 100% happy with it yet. There's still more I can do, that I can tweak to make it more of a viable thing, and not so unrealistic with how much you're going to pay on certain things to get rid of certain buildings. But yeah, I decided to have a play around in there, and all of the buildings that all of your farm sheds and silos, everything that's on your farmyard now has a price to remove it, and certain shed types will cost you more than a different shed type, things like that. Like the Karma 18, the seed storage building or silo will cost you more money to remove than, say, the liquid fertilizer tanks. Now, I mean, yeah, you could argue, well, yeah, you might in real life, yeah, but you'd be able to scrap them. I don't know if you've ever really noticed, but on a farmyard there's a lot of scrap, and it tends to just be thrown in one corner and just left there, not sold, not weighed in. I'm not saying that farmers don't weigh their stuff in eventually, but there tends to be a lot of it, and just left, just rotting away in the corner somewhere. So it's not ridiculous amounts, don't worry. Like, I'm not going to give prices or costs to remove certain things, but it's enough. Then the other side was, and I can show you that part here, animal husbandry. 505,000, and we're close to full. This is a 720,000 capacity shed. And we're almost full. And I've got the chickens to sort out, and the sheep to sort out, so that their capacity is a bit more realistic, as in I want to, with a full capacity barn, I want to have to feed them daily, as you would in real life. You know, I've got a mod on here that the realistic milking times mod, so that when 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. are when the cows will be milked, rather than hourly, every hour. Does it mean that you end up losing out on milk? I don't know. Does it bother me? Not really, because when you consider I'll end up with 2,000 cows, that's a lot of milk. Twice a day. So, yeah. Oh, there's a bale. It has to be a bale right there, huh? Thank you, bale. I had to remove the one of the mods. Now, it was working fine, but I've added a few mods, so it's one of the mods it's conflicting with, and I'm pretty sure it was the F1 menu extension. I had to add the dev tool so I could rescue a bale that went into the river earlier, but I'm sure it's that one. And it could be I doubt it's the easy dev tools. I haven't deactivated it. I've got to deactivate it again. But I was speaking with Farmer Dad, and he was like, "Well, I always have the easy dev tools active, and then if I get in a position where I need it, I haven't got to save and exit and activate it. I can just, you know, super strength my way out of a problem if I need to, like you know, your tractor goes into the river, for example." Now, if you've got stuff in your trailer, there is, rather than losing it and resetting your vehicle, just pull it back out. With the bale, I don't want a bale sitting at the bottom of the river. So yeah, I had to put the easy dev tools in and go and rescue the bale, which wasn't difficult and definitely worked. And it was on field 5, the field I've been eyeing up to buy. Another mod I've removed is the auction field mod, and the reason being is fields were going for way too cheap. I could have got field 5 had I paid attention. I could have got field 5 for half the price. And it's like, I don't want to be paying half price for a field. Is it nice? Yes. But it's, is it what I'm looking for? And it's like, no, because eventually I'm going to be making so much money on here that I wouldn't like to be able to spend it as well, and not go, oh, how can I save money? I like the idea that right now I haven't got a lot of money. Yeah, I've got 129,000 sitting there, but when you consider, if right now I've got nothing to do on my farm, so if I was playing it like I was, I'd be skipping time. I'd have skipped time to when my grass field was ready to go for the final cut of the year, which would mean that that money up there would be a lot less, because I'd have had to skip time, and as a result, all the leasing costs and building costs, etc., would have come into effect each month or each day even, and that mounts up, believe me. especially when you start getting the bigger equipment on lease. And when you consider I've got a combine and a big M, and the combine isn't a small combine. Yeah, that gets very expensive. And I want to be able to see other parts of the map and not wait until I've bought them particular fields. And I'm sure you guys are going to be the same. Like, well, it's nice to see that you're playing the game, but can we have a different area that we can see? Rather than just the farmyard and farmland nearby the farmyard all the time. And the occasional, well, we've got this to go and sell or this to go and pick up. So here we are. We're at the other side of the map. Bailing field 33. And yeah, we could even go as far as going, well, we don't need to buy land. We could just do contracts for now, for going forward. And whatever extra we get from the contracts, we can use there going for our own needs to keep ourselves in money, and we've got our little bit of land that we could work ourselves. I mean, I'm not going to go that route because I will do contracts, but I'm not going to just purely focus on contracts. Although this map would be a really good map for as a contractor map, because the size of the fields. Same with Glenleithan, especially grass work. Well, there again, Maypole's the same with grass work. It's, you get decent money with grass. Costs takes a lot more time, but you get a lot more money. A video that came out that Disturbed did earlier, which was really interesting, was grass silage versus chaffing or maize silage, and the results were, you know, not exactly what I was expecting. In some ways it was much more closer. Now you could argue that with maize silage you're going to do it and then cover your clamp as soon as it's ready, whereas with the grass side of it, you're going to mow it, fertilize it, etc., do everything that you've got to do to the grass, and then mow it again, and then again do everything that you've got to do to the grass, and maybe get a third cut in, and before you can cover the clamp. Otherwise you'd have 3 separate clamps going, unless you're doing bales, of course. If you're doing clamp work, then you've got a whole year of grass just sitting, or chaff just sitting inside the clamp, and you can't cover it. Well, I guess you could always cover it, and then it'll have fermented before then the field's ready to go, and then sell that silage, and you've got a fresh clamp to go. You could do it like that if you want to do that, but I don't like covering a clamp until it's full, because I don't see the point. I'd rather fill it and have, so for me, the field that we've got, the grass field we've got, wouldn't be viable for the clamp, for buying a clamp, because it would mean that we would put a clamp down and not really fill it. So eventually it would be a definitely an option, and I was thinking maybe changing one of my arable fields to a grass field, but then it was like, well, maybe that field would be good for a root crop field going forward at some point, and for now it would just be a grass field until that day comes. And it's still a possibility. And of course we could always look into getting some greenhouses and that going, so we can sort that out and start making money there. And maybe maybe we should also start looking into getting at least the grain mill, so we can start making flour and start getting the productions up and running. And we are in our 3rd year, or coming to the end of the 3rd year, you know, 4 years in, and I've got like 70 some hours on this map, that's all, and I'm already going into the 4th year, or will be, or coming to the end of the 3rd year even. Yes, that was why I was just like, you know what, I need to slow the pace down a little bit and just play the game, just have fun, and so that's what we're going to do. The plans that I have for the map, they ain't going to change, as in owning the whole map and that. I'm just going to change how I was going to initially get there. I know some people, they stick to their guns on it, but then if you're doing a series, you need to be able to have multiple series going. I find. So you're not, like, I've only got Riverview. Friday we have whatever game wins for the monkey show to play. Sunday we have Farm Sim Sunday, which is on the server, and currently the map for voting as to what map we go on Sundays in our Discord there for people to vote on. But that finishes on Friday. No, and the last time I checked, there is one map that's winning, easily winning at the moment, and I've had a quick look around it, and you know, it's definitely a map that I could play, but it's not going to take away from what I'm doing here. So if you're playing challenges and doing videos on it, then you need to be able to break each of the challenges up. So you need to have multiple series going on with different challenges or similar challenges to each other. So you're not just doing the same thing over and over again on the same map. And for me, that was my problem. It was the same thing. Harvest, mow, advance time after prepping all the fields, mow, advance time until the grass field was ready to go, mow, advance time until the grass field was ready to go, or the arable fields were ready to go, and occasionally feed the animals here and there, or move the eggs or the wool, and that was it. And it was like, yeah, as nice as it is to see the my herds growing, I'm not seeing too much going on. I'm literally skipping, like, 3 months almost at a time, and it's just no. And I know you could speed up time while you're doing things, because you've got 4 days to get them done. But then when you've got arable fields to go in, speeding up the time isn't necessarily beneficial, because you've got to also get them fields ready to go for the next crop, and you want to get them fields turned around as fast as you can, and so that you eat earlier for next season, as the earliest possible time for next season you can harvest it. And I like to try and get my arable fields to go straight before or straight after a grass is ready, depending on what crop type I'm growing. Get this little bit here, not that it's going to give us much, but we did miss it, so we'll pick that up. Another little series that's started, which I'm in the process of watching it from the beginning, from the map that they was on previously to the one that they're on now. 4B Modding and Tony Myth YouTube channels. I'll put the links for their channels in the description. We could leave this here for now, couldn't we? Technically. I'll put their links in the description, but they have started they was doing a roleplay on the Oaks, and they've now moved to Glenleithan, which was how I got to know that they was doing a roleplay. Now, roleplay for me, I love roleplays. I love watching roleplays, especially ones that are done really well, and they're doing a good job with their roleplay. I like their roleplay style. So Tony puts his videos out on a Tuesday, and 4B puts his out on a Wednesday, and so you get different perspectives, and they, you know, intertwine with each other because it's a multiplayer as well. So you will get parts where you'll go, well, that was what I watched in the last episode, but I'm seeing it from that person's perspective as opposed to, you know, how I saw it originally. But then that person goes off and does their own little thing, and then to make it so it's not the same content that you're watching, just from a different perspective. And so I'm watching their Oaks, and before I start watching their Glenleithan stuff, because the story is a continuation. I'd already watched the first episode on Glenleithan, and it's the reason why I know about the Oaks, and it was like, I should watch the Oaks so I understand the story going forward as to why you're in the position that you are in right now. So that's what I'm doing. And but we want, so we got them three. We don't want you. We do want you. Field 39 now. Field 39 is up here? No. Field 39 is that one. Okay. I want these ones ideally. 45, 6, 7, and 8. 45, you want, of course you want hay. 46, you want silage. So we'll take you. 47, you want silage. Yeah, and 48, you want silage. 49 is hay. Okay. 45 is hay. 39. Well, we may as well take you as well. More about 26 hay. So it's all hay for the final three. Reading. 38. That's a lot of contracts. But I like that field. I really do like that field. I like these fields as well. This one can be scenic overviewing here. This one, when you're around here, can be scenic viewing out over there. This one in general is scenic regardless. As can this one to a certain extent. But yeah, like this one is quite scenic when you're looking out over the ocean. And that's where, yeah. So we've got contracts for both of those, but we're not delivering there yet. Hang on, I need my big M. Yeah. So may as well fill it up before we go. Or should we just fill it? No, because we'll be going to the fields up the hill before we go anywhere near the town, won't we? So we should fill it up from the farm. And we are on swath dropping. Good. Alright. There's our new combine. Or least combine. Definitely going to come in handy. When can we sell eggs, actually? Is that this month or next month? Because we're in October. November, okay. We could sell milk this month. We could make 17,000 off that. We could always get the dairy going, couldn't we? Buy the dairy, and then we can start giving milk. I don't think we're producing enough of it to be make it as a viable option right now. Apparently we can make 200,000 off silage, but that's because of all the silage bales that we've got sitting in fields as well for contracts. We're not going to be doing that, obviously. We will make money off some of them, but not all of them. And we've got some silage bales up at the by our TMR factory. I want to get a clamp up there. I know initially there was a clamp up there, and I sold it, which I shouldn't have done. Thinking back now, but and if you're wondering what rules did you break, one of the rules was selling buildings. I wasn't meant to be able to sell multiple buildings, and I kind of broke that within the first day. By selling one of the entire farmyard off on the canyon based yard, if you like. and that will become my production point for greenhouses and maybe a few other little things. It might even become a chicken farm down there eventually. We'll see. But yeah, we're definitely going to lost my train of thought. Never a good thing. We're definitely going to make a nice amount of all of this. And we'll go into this view. And we will mow as close to the edge as we can get away with, so that we can take advantage of grass on the peripheral outside of the field boundaries. Oh dear, I'm not paying any attention there. I might not be able to pick that up because it's off the field. We'll see though. If it allows me, then that's a bonus. If it doesn't, then it'll just stay there until I buy the field itself, which will be whenever. I will eventually end up buying these fields, obviously. But yeah. Go enjoy that view. I remember in 15, somebody did a map review of the map, and they said very scenic looking map. And I get that from a few people. They go, "Oh, your maps are very scenic, very picturesque." I I guess for the most part, I grew up with my grandparents, and my granddad was all about getting a good location for pictures. He loved photography. So I guess from that perspective, it's kind of built in to my, my idea of how things should look. I don't know. If you find my maps picturesque, then awesome, you know. As long as you're enjoying them, that's all that matters to me. And it's been nice to play other people's maps as well, not just my own. Something I didn't think I would end up enjoying doing, and but yeah, it's definitely something that I'm enjoying. Um, but we'll be on the next map for longer than what we was on with Goldcrest. The simple fact that we're going to stay on that map until the premium edition comes out, and then we'll be going on to the premium edition map after. But we'll also be doing multiple farms on the next map. We'll have the Monkey Show, and we'll have the Shanty Boys. So there'll be 2 farms, and we will see. And it's just something just to spice it up a little bit. See, you know, the challenge will be something simple, like, you know, see who can make the most money by the end of it all. See which farm has can make the most money by the end of it. And because whatever we make, we take to the next map anyway. But instead of one farm, you know, and then it'll be, can both farms make their money and take a profit to the next map, or will one of the farms struggle? And obviously the more money you've got to spend, and the more money you do spend, the more money you've got to make back before you're making a profit. So you got to take that into account. And we've got 5.3 million each farm to take. That's a lot of money to try and make back. A lot of money. Especially if you spend it all, you've got to make that 5.3 million back. And we're going to be on hard difficulty. We was on medium last time, and it was like, damn, we made too much money. Too quick. So, yeah. We've got A few ideas that we will go with though, and we'll see how it pans out. I'm not going to say what the ideas are. It's just, you know, normal things, but it will definitely be fun. Definitely be a lot of fun. You know, one thing, it's getting really hot in here, and the kids are still awake, so they're watching TV. So I can't open the door because otherwise I'll get copyright strikes because of what they're watching. So it's really hot in here right now, and not a good thing. So maybe I will only go 1 hour on this, and I've took all them contracts out now. At least I'll be able to open the door and actually let some fresh air in. So going back to the productions, which I'd started a conversation on, which I never finished. What have I done to them? So I've changed. In fact, I can show you because I have one production, don't I? I have this. So the cycles per month. This, ignore this one because all I've changed in this one is grass to hay. I haven't changed anything else. But cycles per month, they've been doubled over the base game amounts, and this includes for the BGA. Then the amount of produce that they will consume per hour has been changed. But cycles per hour, because it's not cycles per month. That comes down to cycles per hour. Yeah. Anyway, this has been changed per hour. This has been set to 10 times, and so as the final produce that you will receive has been increased to 10 times its base value. So productions will go a lot quicker, and I've got to see if I've done it too high now, or if it's a decent enough that you can make stuff from it and make the changes that I'd initially done to be more susceptible. And if they're producing too quick, then I will halve the output consumption and final produce consumption. So instead of being 10 times, it'd be 5 times, or reduce the cycles per hour to back to its base game value, and go with that. You know, I can tweak it and see. So I've got to start a test map so I can test all of that out, because I've got to do a test map for the sheep as well. Not this field, it's the next one. The entrance is just up here around the corner, isn't it? Oh, just before the corner. But this field isn't so bad, because it's not as steep. So the bales won't roll away when it comes to baling them, and you'll see what I mean by that if I'm still streaming here in when it comes to baling all of this. Reminds me, I've got something else I've got to do after I get done here. It's not in game now. This is in real life. I've got to do something. Yeah, the all the tweaks that I'm doing, you know, it's not guaranteed to be in the final update and there is no plans for an update anytime soon. So don't worry for those who are currently playing any of my maps. There is no plans for an update. It's not going to drop next week or in a couple of weeks' time or something like that. You're looking at months away before an update will come. And it could be January, for example, when I do the updates. We'll see. It'll be a while. And all the maps won't drop together. It will be spaced out. So the first map I'll probably update will be Ebony Island. Because that's the one that I'm doing off cam. So that's the one I'm playing on more than any other map at the moment. And then it'd probably be, I don't know, maybe Riverview would be the one after that that would get an update because obviously I'm currently playing that one. Or this one, even. Then Maypole, followed by Glenleithen in the end. Because I'm not playing Glenleithen or Maypole at the moment, and Maypole will be the map that I'll go to after I'm done with Ebony Island. Or this one, whichever one ends first for me. Glenleithen will end up being a map that I'll do on cam eventually. I'll do a series on it eventually, but the Ebony Island and that, not so much. Oh, I did miss a bit there, didn't I? I wonder if that was when I maybe clipped the tree. But maybe. I don't know if I did clip the tree, but I'm going to go with I clipped the tree and that's why the mower got lifted up and missed that little patch of grass. Or the mower got lifted up and that's why I missed that patch of grass. Doesn't matter, I mean it was outside of the field boundary, it's just a little bit of grass that I could initially use for our increase the amount of bales that we can get out of this land. That's another one done. Next field is not the one that's just over the back here. Yes, so we got 47 and the entrance is all the way over here. And the reason I'm going to leave it for as long as I can before I do any map updates is I'm not going to guarantee that the map updates will be save game compatible. Especially on Riverview and Maypole. There might be changes on them too that require a new save game. I'm not completely sure yet. And one of the changes that could be happening on here is the road layout. I might end up changing the roads, and if I do, I'll be ripping all of the roads out and then redoing them all because this was the very first map I'd ever worked with the road pieces with, and then Maypole was the second. Ebony Island was the third, obviously, and with Ebony Island I started, working differently with the pieces, and whereas Maypole and Riverview, and then I went on to Maypole and the road on there, so they came out kind of similar. So I'm going to, it's definitely something that has been bugging me. Now, I know a lot of people have gone, well, it doesn't bother me. The road's fine to me. I'm picky. I'm very, very picky. And in 17 and 19, it wasn't so bad, but with 22, yeah. No, certain sections of the road on here I just don't like. So, I will definitely be changing them, but it'll be after I'm done with my own playthrough on here before I start messing with the roads, and then I can focus on testing and chopping things away and not having to constantly update my save game to work with the changes that I've made to keep it compatible. That is really difficult with all them trees there to mow right at the edge of the field. Definitely when I buy, I should say, this field, them trees would have to be thinned back a little bit further away from the edge of the field, including these ones. Well, these ones would probably end up going so I could extend the field, because I would definitely extend this field to incorporate as much of the land as I can. But then I would probably take all these hedges out and just make it one big grass field. Which is how it was in 17. This was just one big field originally, and it was an arable field. But nobody ever came up here, because there's so many arable fields already around the map that this area just nobody ever came up to do anything up here. Hence the reason why I made it a load of grass fields up here. So we as you can, I should have already pointed it out, shouldn't I? But as you can see, the grass is totally different to what's outside of the field. It looks different. This is more lighter, more greener than what's outside. The meadow grass is a lot darker. You can tell the difference. And the meadow grass has also got all the weeds in, whereas the this field grass doesn't. So definitely something to keep going, and makes the map feel a bit nicer. If me personally, it's something different. Now I know a lot of people have already been changing the textures in their maps, But obviously I haven't been playing their map, so I haven't seen the textures. And the guys who've been doing the textures, and we have to appreciate what they've done. And no better way than using them in your maps and giving them credit for their work, because they state that you can use them in your map, not that you've got to hunt them down and ask them for permission. You just got to credit them, which is perfectly fine. While we're on that particular subject, if somebody puts something out and you want to use it, unless it says feel free to use in your own map, just give credit. Like, for example, the relight mod. If you want to add that to your map and then release it publicly, you can do so, as long as you credit the author. That's all the author asks. You don't have to contact him. You've just got to credit him. He does state that. Unless that is stated in the description at some point, you should never ever take somebody's work and just go, yep, I'm going to use that, and then just credit them, because there isn't you haven't obtained permission to use anything of their work, any of their work at all. You have credited them, which fair enough, but that doesn't mean that you've been given permission. If you are going to use anything of anybody's work, you must, unless it says feel free to use it, you must obtain permission. Seriously, it takes the author of the work would be a lot more appreciative if you hunted them down and asked them for permission, than if they found out you just included it in your work and credited them. It takes a few minutes to find somebody. Most modders today have a Discord, or can be found on a Discord channel somewhere. And if it's not on a Discord, then Facebook. It's not hard to do. And be polite. Think about it. If you just put some of your work was out there and you didn't want people using it, would you want people putting it in their maps or including it in their work and then going, oh, here's I've obtained permission by crediting the person who did it, whose work I've used. It's nice that you're crediting them, but that isn't permission. And that seems to be a big thing at the moment, that people think that by just obtaining or crediting even the author, the original authors, that then means that they've been given permission. Because if that's how it's going to go, then I can see a lot of modders going, hey, you know what, I'm sick of putting stuff out there for people to steal and use in their maps or in their work, and then thinking that it's okay to do that. And they might not be so open to giving it to you, and then you end up getting a bad reputation as a thief in the modding community. And do you really want that? Especially if you start uploading stuff to the mod hub, you really want to be known as a thief, because anything that is then included in your work, people are going to be looking at it going, is that from somebody else's work? and you could end up getting, you know, a report from somebody, and Giants could end up pulling the map and going, you have to prove that you was given permission to use said item, and you want that. Because Giants could turn around and say, due to the amount of complaints of stuff being taken without permission, we're not going to allow any of your mods to be on the mod up going forward. And they do have the rights to do that. Would they do that? Maybe, maybe not. But they can do that. And yeah, you could create and come under a different profile and everything, and all that. But you know, people know you by your name. And example, Cavalier Roy. If I suddenly change my name because of stupidity and being banned by Giants under that name, I create a whole new name. Suddenly, Riverview, Maypole, Ebony Island, Glenleathan. People know me for them. I put something new out, and it's like, who made that? And it's like, I don't know, first time modder, maybe. They don't know who I am. And if they do, I do reveal who that I would, you know, formerly known as Cavalier Roy. It's like, oh, it's that guy who, you know, he got banned from Giants because of silly, stupid things, and now he's come back with a new name, and all of my work is again scrutinized. So it's not worth it. Truthfully, it's not worth it. It's like playing a game and then immediately looking for all the cheats for that game. That might be your play style, but no, we want to go the other way. That might be your play style, but then you're losing out on all the fun that you had to get there. It's like giving yourself 100 million in Farm Sim and then just playing the game for the sake of playing the game. Just to say, oh yeah, I played it and yeah, it was okay, but it was too easy. It's like, no, you made it easy by giving yourself 100 million. Or just going out there doing what you need to do to get the achievements. And once you've got all the achievements, you go, yep, that game can be uninstalled. I've done everything on there that you can do. Next game. You know, it's boring and not right. You should definitely, you spent the money on the game, you should be playing the game rather than just doing the game. Got grass in that road over there that needs to come out. Never noticed that before. But anyway. But yeah, it doesn't take much to go and ask somebody for permission to use something that they've put out there. And like I said, unless it actually states, feel free to use in your maps, but credit must be given. You know, like prefabs. Anybody can use that stuff in their maps as long as you credit the person or people who made it. And it doesn't matter even if it's Giants base game stuff. They may have tweaked it some way that makes it their own work on top of Giants stuff. It's just respect. Pay respect to the authors. Anyway, rant's over. We're going to the next field, and I'm afraid for me, I definitely need to open this door, and the kids are still awake. I was hoping that they'd have gone up to bed by now, being like 20 to 1 in the morning, but I'm guessing they're going to stay up for until 1 or 2 in the morning, because for them it's their final week to do that. So they're going to take advantage of it while they can. So yeah, we've only got this field to mow and then all them fields to bale. I've baled that one off cam, and this one we was baling while I started, and then we baled that one. And then I've got to bring the baler and do these 3, and then this one after I've mowed it. And then I've got to go around collecting all the bales and delivering them to their 2 destinations. But right, harvesting, we've got 37, 39, 29 even, 20. Okay. Maybe there's contracts for them, huh? That I can do after 20, 29 and 37, yeah. Okay. Saving, that one's corn, that one's corn, and soybean. It's that trailer. What trailer do you give us? Okay. And you give us that. Well, I'd be using my own equipment anyway. So, I'll put the links in the description for 4B and Tony. Definitely go and check them guys out. You'll enjoy. I'll include the one from Disturbed Simulation who did the silage versus grass, or maize silage versus grass silage. Nice little experiment there. He did there. He does he's been doing quite a few experiments, and definitely worth checking out. And along with his other content that he's doing, Saxthorpe, Glenleithen. You'll enjoy them. And then, you know, he does a live stream now and then where they're talking about Terra Life with Alien Paul, who is the guy behind Maze Plus. So maybe you want to check that out, because that looks interesting, very interesting. But anyway, I'm going to go get some fresh coffee, and I will be back. Is it Wednesday? I'll be back Friday with whatever game we get to play with the Monkey Show, or whatever game the Monkey Show are playing, even. And then Sunday we'll be back with the community server on whatever map wins, and having fun there.